There's something powerful that happens when you decide to make a change in your life. A transformation starts not just around you, but within you. You've probably heard people say things like, I want to change my life, or this year is going to be different. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of a new beginning, but real change happens when you decide to put in the work day in and day out. The truth is, if you want this year to be your year, it starts with you. And no, it doesn't require some magical moment to make it happen. It requires consistent effort, clear focus, and a mindset that's locked on growth. The biggest obstacle most people face is the way they think about themselves and their potential. For many, the idea of personal growth is something that sounds nice, but it's difficult to implement. It's easy to think that change is for other people, the ones who are lucky enough to get it right. But you can get it right too. It's not about being perfect, it's about being committed to getting better. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You just need to start. So how do you start? It begins with mastering your mindset. To make real lasting change, you need to develop the mindset of someone who is capable of growth. It's about seeing opportunities instead of roadblocks. It's about looking at your failures as learning experiences, not as evidence that you're not good enough. A growth mindset isn't just about being positive all the time. It's about embracing challenges, seeking out growth in every experience, and being open to the idea that you can always get better, no matter where you are right now. The first step to mastering your mindset is recognizing that you're in control. You are the one who decides what to focus on. You are the one who decides how to respond to the challenges life throws at you. Every day you wake up, you have the power to choose how you will think and feel about your life. If you want to change, it starts with choosing to believe that you can. You can choose to believe in your potential. You can choose to believe that even though things aren't where you want them to be right now, they don't have to stay that way. But here's the catch: it won't happen overnight. Shifting your mindset requires daily practice. It's about committing to change, even when it feels hard. It's about recognizing that growth doesn't come in a straight line. There will be ups and downs. There will be days when it feels like nothing is working, when you wonder if this is all worth it. But the most successful people didn't get to where they are by quitting when it got hard. They kept going, even when they didn't feel like it. They pushed through because they knew that real growth comes from embracing the process, not just the destination. To build this growth mindset, you have to challenge your current beliefs. If you believe you're not good enough to achieve something, challenge that belief. If you believe you don't have the skills or the knowledge to succeed, challenge that belief. Replace those thoughts with questions like, how can I learn this? Or, what can I do today to get closer to my goal? These small shifts in your thinking make a huge difference over time. Start by setting clear, specific goals for yourself. Having a roadmap gives you something to focus on. Break those goals into smaller, more manageable steps. Each small victory you achieve builds your confidence and reinforces your belief that you're capable of even bigger things. And don't be afraid of setbacks. Everyone experiences them. But those setbacks don't define you. They refine you. They show you where you need to adjust, where you need to grow, and where you can improve. The next key to lasting change is taking consistent daily action. Change doesn't happen by thinking about it or talking about it. It happens by doing something every single day to move toward your goal. It's easy to think that you can skip a day or take a break, but every day you put in the work is a step closer to where you want to be. Consistency is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who talk about their goals. Daily action doesn't have to be massive. It can be as simple as taking one small step every day. It might mean reading a chapter of a book, making one phone call, or writing one paragraph toward your goal. The key is that you show up every day. Small, consistent actions lead to big results over time. When you look back at the end of the year, those daily steps will have added up in ways you couldn't have imagined at the beginning. Emotional resilience plays a big role in this process. There will be moments when things don't go as planned and you'll feel discouraged. You might face setbacks that make you question whether it's worth continuing. But those moments don't have to stop you. They can push you forward. Emotional resilience is the ability to keep moving forward even when things aren't easy. It's about learning how to deal with disappointment, frustration, and failure without giving up. Resilience comes from knowing that setbacks are temporary and that you're capable of bouncing back. It's about refusing to let one failure define you and instead using it as a lesson. Every time you get knocked down, you can choose to get back up stronger. When you make resilience a habit, you build the mental strength necessary to face anything life throws your way. Another important factor in personal growth is continuous learning. The most successful people are always learning. They know that no matter how much they know, there's always more to learn. The key to continuous improvement is having the desire to grow. You can learn from books, podcasts, courses, or simply by listening to others who have been where you want to go. Growth comes from the willingness to seek knowledge and apply it. It's not enough to know something. You need to use that knowledge to improve. Lastly, one of the most powerful ways to grow is to surround yourself with people who lift you up. Your environment plays a huge role in your success. If you're surrounded by people who are negative, complacent, or disinterested in growth, it will be harder for you to stay motivated. On the other hand, when you spend time with people who challenge you, inspire you, and push you to be your best, you'll rise to the occasion. Choose to surround yourself with those who believe in your potential, and who are willing to support you in your journey. Change doesn't have to be overwhelming. It's about taking one step at a time. Start where you are, to growth. And remember, the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the decision to get started. You've got everything you need to succeed. Now it's up to you to take the first step. Every day is a new opportunity to begin again. Make the most of it. And remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing to learn, grow, and keep moving forward. Your future is waiting for you, and the best way to get there is by taking action today. So don't wait, start now. The only way to fail is to quit. And quitting is not an option. Change is in your hands. It's up to you to make it happen. The next step on the journey to real transformation is to realize that success doesn't come from waiting for the right moment. So many people delay taking action, thinking they'll do it once they feel more prepared, more confident, or when everything is aligned perfectly. But the truth is, you'll never feel fully ready. There's always a reason to wait, always something that seems like it should be in place before you take that first step. But here's the thing, waiting is what keeps you stuck. The key to real progress is to start before you feel ready. You've probably heard the saying, the perfect time never comes, and that's absolutely true. Perfectionism can paralyze you. It makes you second-guess your decisions, hold back your dreams, and convince yourself that you're not good enough yet. Waiting for the ideal circumstances is a trap. There will never be a perfect moment where everything is aligned perfectly. Instead, you create the momentum by starting now, right now, this very moment. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to have everything figured out. You just have to make the choice to begin. Starting before you're ready means you give yourself permission to learn as you go. You trust that taking action will teach you everything you need to know along the way. The first step you take might not be perfect, but it's a step in the right direction. It's progress, and progress is what counts. When you start, you give yourself the chance to figure things out. You build experience, and that experience will lead to improvement. Every small action you take, even if it feels like you're not quite ready, moves you closer to where you want to be. It's easy to think that the lack of resources, time, or expertise is holding you back. But those are just excuses we tell ourselves to stay in our comfort zones. If you wait for all the stars to align, you could be waiting for the rest of your life. No one who has ever achieved great success waited for the perfect time to begin. Instead, they made a decision to take action despite the uncertainty. The truth is, there's no perfect moment. There's only now. The only time that matters is the present. And the only thing standing between where you are today and where you want to be tomorrow is the decision to take action. And when you do start, you'll quickly realize that the process is just as valuable as the end goal. You'll learn things that you never would have learned if you kept waiting. The mistakes you make are stepping stones. The failures are lessons. It's the experiences, the good and the bad, that shape you into the person who can succeed. No one becomes great by simply having ideas. You become great by taking action. Whether it's making a mistake or having a small success, it's all part of the journey. When you take the first step, you begin to create momentum. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in achieving any goal. Once you start moving, even if it's a small move, you begin to gain speed. And the more you move, the easier it gets. You get into the habit of acting, and it becomes a routine. Success is built on the habits you create, but if you never start, those habits can't form. So don't wait for a perfect moment. Don't wait until everything is perfect. Start right before you're ready, and the process will teach you everything you need to know. It's also important to understand that starting is the most crucial step, but it's not the only one. You don't just start and stop. Success comes from the ability to keep going. It comes from the discipline to continue when things get tough, when you feel discouraged, or when you don't see the immediate results you expect. Starting is easy. It's the follow-through that makes the difference. The people who achieve success are the ones who choose to push through, who commit to the process, and who continue moving forward no matter what. Don't let the fear of not being ready stop you. The fear is natural. It's part of the process. It's the fear of the unknown, the fear of failure, and the fear of not being enough. But every successful person has had that fear. They've just learned how to take action in spite of it. You don't need to wait for the fear to go away, because it won't. Instead, use that fear as fuel. Let it drive you. Every time you feel fear or doubt, recognize that it's a sign that you're on the right path. Growth never happens without a little discomfort. Starting before you're ready also means learning to be patient with yourself. You might make mistakes, and that's okay. You might fail at something or face challenges that seem insurmountable. But each one of those setbacks is part of your growth. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't go the way you want them to. But remember this, real growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens when you step outside, when you take risks, and when you embrace the challenge. Even when it feels hard, keep going. That's where the real growth happens. Most people get stuck because they're waiting for the perfect opportunity to come to them. They think they need to have everything figured out before they can take that first step. But the most successful people didn't wait for things to be perfect. They took the first step and kept moving. The key is to take that first step, no matter how small, and keep moving forward, one step at a time. Once you've made the decision to start, focus on being consistent. It's the small, consistent actions that add up over time. You don't have to do everything at once, but you need to show up every day. Progress might seem slow at first, but it's all part of the process. One step after another, you'll look back and see how far you've come. And that's when you'll realize that starting before you were ready was the best decision you ever made. So don't wait for the right time. The perfect moment doesn't exist. Start now, start today, and make it happen. Each small step will get you closer to your goals. You're capable of more than you realize. The only thing stopping you is the decision to take action. You have everything you need right now. So start before you're ready and trust that the process will unfold as it should. Momentum builds, progress happens, and growth is inevitable. The moment you start, the moment you take that first step, you're no longer just dreaming about the life you want. You're creating it. So take the leap. Start today. Your future is waiting for you, and the time to begin is now. There's something incredibly powerful about deciding to go after your dreams. You don't have to wait for a sign or a moment of inspiration. In fact, the most successful people didn't wait for some big breakthrough before they started. They just made a decision. They committed, and they stuck with it. This is one of the most critical aspects of transforming your life, taking consistent daily action toward your goals. It's not about giant leaps or radical changes. It's about making steady, purposeful progress every single day. If you think about anything great that's been accomplished, whether it's building a business, getting in shape, or even mastering a skill, it didn't happen because someone suddenly found the perfect strategy or had the perfect amount of time. It happened because they showed up every day, took action, and kept improving a little bit more each time. The biggest thing that separates people who achieve their dreams from those who never seem to get started is this: stay consistent. Now, I know it can be tempting to think that you need to have everything figured out before you begin. Maybe you think you need to learn more, do more research, or wait until you feel more confident. But here's the truth: you don't need to wait for the perfect moment. In fact, waiting is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. The best way to move forward is to simply begin, and then do it again, and again, and again. The daily action you take is what will compound over time and eventually lead you to where you want to be. It's like stacking bricks, one by one, little by little. At first, you might not see much progress. Your But over time, those little actions build up, and soon you'll see a foundation forming, a foundation that you can keep building on day after day. The beauty of consistency is that it gives you momentum. When you consistently show up, even on the days when you don't feel like it, you create a habit. And when something becomes a habit, it becomes much easier to stick with. Think about brushing your teeth or eating 3 meals a day. It's just part of your routine. You don't have to convince yourself to do it every day. You just do it. And when you create that same kind of routine with the actions that move you towards your goals, you make it automatic. But here's the secret. Not all action is created equal. It's easy to get caught up in doing things that feel productive, but don't actually move you closer to your goal. Checking your email, scrolling through social media, or even organizing your workspace can feel like you're being productive, but if those activities aren't directly related to your goal, they're not moving you forward. This comes into play. When you take action, make sure it's aligned with your long-term objectives. Don't waste time doing things that don't serve your purpose. Every time you take action, ask yourself, is this getting me closer to where I want to be? If the answer is yes, keep going. If not, find something that does. Now, you'll probably face some days when the going gets tough. Maybe you'll feel exhausted, or you'll hit a roadblock, or you'll feel like nothing is happening. That's when the real test of consistency comes in. It's easy to take action when things are going well, but the true power of consistency lies in sticking with it when it's hard. These are the days that matter most. These are the days that will determine whether you're going to reach your goals or not. When things get difficult, remember this: progress isn't always visible. Sometimes the results you want take time to show up. Planting seeds, and just because you can't see the growth above the surface yet, doesn't mean it's not happening. Keep watering, keep nurturing, and trust that the growth will come. It always does. The key is to stay in the game long enough for that growth to happen. Don't expect instant results. If you're only in it for the quick payoff, you'll get discouraged easily. But if you're in it for the long haul, and you're committed to doing the work day in and day out, you'll see the results. You'll see yourself getting stronger, smarter, and more capable. You'll learn more along the way than you ever would if you just waited for the perfect moment. But here's the truth about consistent action. It's not always easy, and it's not always glamorous. Some days you'll feel like quitting. Some days you'll want to throw in the towel. But in those moments, remember why you started. Remember that this is your life, your dreams, and no one is going to do the work for you. You are the one who decides whether to keep moving forward or to give up. And when you choose to keep going, even when it's hard, you build resilience, you build character. And those things are priceless. The key to lasting change isn't just about being motivated all the time. It's about building the habits that make success inevitable. Consistency is what takes you from being someone who has ideas and dreams to someone who is living those dreams. It's the bridge between where you are now and where you want to go. The more you commit to that consistency, the closer you get to your goal. And over time, the small things will add up to big results. The power of daily action can't be overstated. It's what separates those who talk about their goals from those who actually achieve them. Turns dreams into reality. If you're serious about changing your life, you need to commit to taking consistent action every day. You don't have to do it all at once. But you do need to show up every single day and do something that moves you forward. So, no matter where you are right now, no matter how small your progress might seem, keep going. The moment you stop taking action is the moment you stop growing. And as long as you keep moving forward, you'll continue to make progress. It may take time, but it will happen. If you stay consistent, you will see results. Every successful person knows that consistency is the key to success. It's the habit of showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's the discipline of doing the work even when you can't see the payoff. It's the commitment to your goals, even when the going gets tough. So make a commitment to yourself today. Start small, show up every day, and keep pushing forward. The more consistent you are, the more momentum you'll build, and the closer you'll get to the life you want. Success doesn't happen in one big leap. It happens in small daily actions. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep going. As you continue on the path toward achieving your goals and transforming your life, there's one thing you can count on: setbacks. Challenges, difficulties, and obstacles are a natural part of the journey. But it's not about avoiding them or wishing they didn't exist. It's about how you handle them. Emotional resilience is one of the most important skills you can develop if you want to create lasting change in your life. It's the ability to face adversity, bounce back from failure, and keep moving forward even when things don't go as planned. Life isn't always going to go smoothly. There are going to be days when things don't work out, when you feel like you're not making progress, or when the weight of failure feels heavier than success. It's easy to get discouraged, especially when things don't go according to your timeline. But that's exactly when you need to dig deep, tap into your emotional strength, and keep going. Resilience isn't about ignoring your emotions or pretending that you're fine when you're not. It's about acknowledging your feelings, whether they're frustration, disappointment, or sadness, and then choosing to move forward anyway. Resilience is the ability to experience those emotions and still take action, even when it feels uncomfortable. It's the mental toughness that says, I may not have control over this situation, but I have control over how I respond to it. One of the most powerful things about emotional resilience is that it allows you to reframe failure. Failure isn't something to be feared or avoided. It's something to learn from. When you face a setback, instead of asking yourself, why is this happening to me? Ask, what can I learn from this? The most successful people didn't get to where they are by avoiding failure. They learned how to embrace it as part of the process. Every failure is an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity to develop new skills, refine your approach, and learn more about what works and what doesn't. In fact, some of the greatest lessons come from the hardest challenges. When everything is going well, it's easy to feel like you have it all figured out. But when you face difficulties, that's when you truly discover what you're made of. Resilience isn't about avoiding the tough times. It's about using those times to build strength and character. A key to emotional resilience is understanding that setbacks are temporary. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that a challenge is the end of the road. But it's not. It's just a detour. Every obstacle you encounter is a chance to grow stronger, to learn more, and to push further. Instead of letting setbacks derail you, use them as fuel to push harder and keep going. Life will never be free from challenges, but how you handle those challenges is what sets you apart. Developing emotional resilience also means managing your expectations. We often get caught up in the idea that things should go smoothly, that we should be able to figure everything out right away. But success is a process. It's a journey, not a destination. And that journey is filled with bumps, bruises, and setbacks. The key is to keep going, even when the road gets tough. When you set realistic expectations for yourself, you're better prepared for the inevitable challenges that will arise. Another important aspect of resilience is having the right mindset. When you face a setback, it's easy to start thinking that you're not good enough, that you don't have what it takes, or that success is just not meant for you. But that's a dangerous way to think. The truth is, everyone experiences setbacks. It's not about whether you fail. It's about how you respond to those failures. When you face setbacks, remind yourself that failure is not an indication of your worth. It's simply a part of the process. Successful people don't see failure as the end. They see it as a stepping stone. They view each setback as an opportunity to refine their approach and get better. They understand that their past failures don't define them. Their future success does. One of the most powerful tools you can use to build emotional resilience is self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on yourself when things go wrong. You might tell yourself that you're not good enough, that you've failed, or that you'll never succeed. But that kind of thinking only holds you back. Instead of beating yourself up, practice being kind to yourself. Remind yourself that everyone makes mistakes and everyone faces setbacks. What matters is how you pick yourself up and keep moving forward. Another way to build resilience is by leaning into your support system. It's easy to isolate yourself when things aren't going well, but you don't have to go through challenges alone. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, people who will encourage you, and people who will help you stay focused on your goals. Resilience doesn't mean doing everything by yourself. It means knowing when to ask for help, when to lean on others, and when to accept support. When you're resilient, you don't let setbacks define you. You don't let failures stop you. Instead, you learn to view challenges as opportunities to grow, as stepping stones on the path to success. Every time you face adversity and bounce back, you build your emotional strength. You become more capable, more confident, and more determined to succeed. So, the next time you face a setback, remember this: it's not the end. It's just a part of the process. Every successful person has faced obstacles and challenges. They've just learned how to keep going despite them. The key is to build resilience. Use setbacks as lessons, as opportunities to grow, and keep moving forward. No matter how tough things get, resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you build over time. It's a muscle that gets stronger the more you use it. The more challenges you face and overcome, the more resilient you become. And the more resilient you are, the more capable you are of achieving your goals. So don't be afraid of setbacks. Embrace them. Use them as opportunities to learn, grow, and become stronger. When you build emotional resilience, nothing can stop you. You'll be able to face any challenge, overcome any obstacle, and keep moving toward your dreams. And that's how you create lasting change in your life. Remember, it's not about avoiding difficulties. It's about how you respond to them. When you choose resilience, you choose strength. And when you choose strength, you choose success. Keep going, keep growing, and keep believing in yourself. Your dreams are waiting for you, and with emotional resilience, you'll reach them no matter what. As you continue on the path toward achieving your goals, there's one thing that will always separate those who reach their dreams from those who don't: the commitment to continuous learning and self-improvement. In every area of life, the people who grow the most are the ones who never stop learning. They're not satisfied with where they are. They are constantly striving to be better, do better, and become the best version of themselves. The truth is, you can never stop improving. The world is changing rapidly, and the most successful people are those who adapt. They recognize that knowledge and skills are their most valuable assets, and they invest in them constantly. In fact, the more you invest in learning, the more you increase your chances of success. Learning isn't just about going to school or reading books. It's about adopting a mindset of continuous growth, one that says, I can always improve, I can always get better. The people who succeed aren't the ones who know everything. They're the ones who are always hungry for more knowledge. They know that every experience, every challenge, and every piece of information can teach them something valuable. Whether it's learning from a mentor, reading books, listening to podcasts, or simply observing the world around you, there is always something to be gained. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. In fact, no one ever really has it all figured out. The most successful people are simply those who are open to learning new things and applying that knowledge to their lives. They're the ones who see every situation as an opportunity to learn. The key is to adopt a mindset of curiosity, to ask questions, and to always be seeking ways to grow. Sometimes, this means stepping outside your comfort zone. Learning new skills can be intimidating, especially when they're things you've never done before. But growth never happens inside your comfort zone. The greatest achievements come when you challenge yourself, take risks, and stretch your limits. Whether you're learning a new skill for your career, expanding your knowledge in a personal interest, or simply developing yourself emotionally and mentally, the process of learning makes you stronger. It's not just about accumulating knowledge, though. It's about applying what you learn. You could spend your whole life reading self-help books, attending seminars, or consuming motivational content, but if you don't apply what you've learned, it won't help you. The real power comes from taking action based on the knowledge you gain. Knowledge is only valuable when it's used, and that's where most people go wrong. They learn, but they don't do anything with it. Think about it. How many people have read countless books on health and fitness but still haven't seen results? Or how many people have learned business strategies but never actually put them into practice? The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that the successful ones take the knowledge they gain and apply it every day. They put what they've learned into action, even when they don't feel like it, and they make it part of their daily routine. One of the most effective ways to continue learning is by surrounding yourself with people who inspire you and push you to be better. The people you spend time with play a huge role in your personal growth. If you surround yourself with people who are content with mediocrity, who aren't striving to grow, you will find yourself falling into the same habits. But when you surround yourself with people who are always learning, always pushing themselves to improve, you'll naturally start to do the same. This doesn't mean you need to completely cut out people who don't have the same goals as you, but it does mean you should actively seek out relationships with those who inspire you. Find mentors, join groups, connect with like-minded individuals who are also committed to learning and improving. These people will not only teach you, but they will also hold you accountable and motivate you to keep going. Another powerful aspect of continuous learning is being open to feedback. No matter how much you know, there is always room for improvement. And one of the quickest ways to learn is by getting feedback from others. Feedback can be uncomfortable, especially when it points out areas where you need to grow, but it's a gift. It's a way of seeing where you can improve and what you can do differently. The most successful people embrace feedback because they understand that it's a tool for their growth. But learning isn't just about getting feedback from others. It's also about learning from yourself. Reflecting on your own experiences is one of the most powerful forms of learning. Look back at the things you've done, the decisions you've made, and the paths you've taken. Ask yourself what worked, what didn't, and what you could do differently next time. Self-reflection allows you to learn from your mistakes, recognize your strengths, and continue moving forward with more clarity and wisdom. Self-improvement doesn't have to be complicated or overwhelming. It can be as simple as setting aside time each day to focus on your growth. You don't need to make huge changes all at once, but by making small, consistent improvements, you'll see massive progress over time. Whether it's reading 4 Oster's minutes a day, taking a new course, practicing a new skill, or simply being more mindful of your thoughts and actions, every small step counts. It's also important to recognize that learning is a lifelong journey. You'll never arrive at a point where you know everything. There will always be new things to learn, new skills to acquire, and new challenges to overcome. Embrace this reality. The more you commit to learning, the more you'll realize that the journey itself is just as valuable as the destination. Another key element of continuous learning is embracing the idea that you are always evolving. Don't get stuck in the past version of yourself. You're not defined by who you were last year, last month, or even yesterday. Every day is an opportunity to learn, grow, and evolve. Don't limit yourself by thinking that you're stuck with the knowledge or skills you have right now. The future you is always more capable than the person you are today, as long as you're willing to put in the effort to keep learning. Finally, remember that the world is full of resources for learning. You don't have to do it all on your own. Books, podcasts, online courses, seminars, and mentors are all available to help you grow. The key is to take advantage of those resources and never stop seeking knowledge. If you ever feel like you've reached a point where you're done learning, it's time to remind yourself that learning is a lifelong process. The more you learn, the more you grow, and the more you grow, the closer you get to achieving your goals. So, make the commitment today to prioritize learning and self-improvement. Embrace the mindset of continuous growth and understand that every day is an opportunity to get better. Seek out knowledge, apply it, and surround yourself with people who inspire you. Be open to feedback. Reflect on your experiences and never stop evolving. This is the path to success, and it's one that's always within your reach. The only limit to your growth is the limit you place on your own learning. So, take action today and keep striving to become the best version of yourself. The journey of learning is never over, and that's what makes it so exciting. The people you surround yourself with play a huge role in your success. If you want to change your life, you need to be around people who elevate you, inspire you, and push you to be better. Surround yourself with individuals who believe in you and your goals, and distance yourself from those who hold you back with negativity or complacency. Mentors are invaluable. They provide guidance, wisdom, and belief in your potential. But don't just seek out mentors. Connect with peers who are also on the path to growth. These relationships can keep you motivated, accountable, and moving forward, even on tough days. It's also important to ask yourself if you're being the right person to others. Be supportive, positive, and growth-minded, and you'll attract people who share those qualities. If there are relationships in your life that no longer support your growth, it may be time to let them go. Join communities or groups that align with your values and goals. These connections will help you stay on track and keep you motivated. The right people will challenge you, encourage you, and help you achieve your dreams. You can't do it alone. Success is built on the people you surround yourself with. So, choose wisely and let your circle elevate you to new heights. Now, there's one more powerful strategy that can make all the difference in changing your life this year, starting before you're ready. So many people wait for the perfect time, the perfect plan, or the perfect conditions before taking action. But the truth is, the perfect moment rarely comes. The key to progress is taking action now, even if you feel unsure or unprepared. It's about trusting that the first step, no matter how small, will lead you to where you want to be. You've probably heard the saying, don't wait for the perfect moment. Take the moment and make it perfect. Waiting for everything to line up exactly how you want it will only keep you stuck. Perfection is a trap. If you wait until you feel bite ready, you might never take that first step. But if you take the leap and start, you'll learn along the way. Starting before you're ready means embracing the discomfort of not knowing everything, of being imperfect, and of figuring things out as you go. It's trusting that the process will teach you what you need to know. Progress isn't about waiting for the right time. It's about making the time right by taking action. When you start before you're ready, you open the door to growth. The first step is often the hardest, but once you make it, you gain confidence, experience, and momentum. Each action you take builds on the last, and before you know it, you're farther along than you thought possible. You don't need to have everything figured out right now. You just need to start. People who succeed don't wait for everything to be perfect. They act in the face of uncertainty. They take the first step, even if it's messy or imperfect, because they know that's where real progress comes from. It's the same for you. Start now and keep moving forward. You'll find that with each step, you're getting closer to your goals.